What's good, y'all? What's good? As you can see, I'm back on the 636. Turn my phone off. I couldn't tell if it was recording or not, so maybe the dummy that I am, I'm messing with my phone while riding, trying to get in the app. My gloves are supposed to work, but they don't work very good. The fingers on these touch finger gloves never work very good for that long. Especially if it's not like, you know, if it's a little bit cold outside, forget about it. I mean, it's like, I want to say 60, 65 degrees right now. Not the warmest when you're in the wind. But anyway, back on the 636, heading home from work, figured I'd get some record. So here we are. So I had a subject today, so I'm going to lead up to it with this. So I was sitting there, and I drive for a living. I'll listen to YouTube videos. Like, I don't watch them. Don't trip. I turn my phone around the other way. There's a lot of YouTube videos you can listen to. Because I got tired of music, got tired of podcasts, got tired of everything. I've been driving for a while, you know. You wear out everything pretty quick. Anyways, they were onto this thing about basically like cancel culture and Danny Masterson and stuff like that. And I remember I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know, on one hand, cancel culture is a beautiful thing. Because like if someone's a whole turd of a human being, they shouldn't be out here getting rich off us. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so I think it's a beautiful thing that everybody comes together and there's like, yeah, not you. You know what I mean? But then they're getting into other stuff, and keep in mind, I don't condone any of this stuff that I'm going to talk about right now. I'm just playing the devil's advocate. Don't come for me. I'm just spitting my thoughts out there. I think it was they're talking about Jeffree Star and some racist remarks back in the day and all that. And now, he wasn't so far back in the day where it was, you know, that was just a thing. But my thoughts led to this is sometimes they cancel people for just acting the way of the times, man. I mean, like, someone could say something, say racist in the 70s, and it comes back on them, and everybody wants to cancel them. I'm like, well, that person's just following the crowd. Now, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying none of that, but I don't believe in condemning someone for just going with the flow, man. I mean, not everybody is a standout person, a stand against the grain. It'll, you know, 10 toes down on what they believe. A lot of them are just brainwashed into it, thinking it's okay. You know what I mean? So, like, and my thoughts on this are, it's all good and fine. I mean, really, when there's canceling, what really is that doesn't really actually hurt anybody. It might hurt their income, you know what I mean? But it doesn't, you know, it's no huge deal. But my thoughts on it were like, so let's say all the stuff that's okay today, you know, what happens in 20 years when they're coming back, you know, and all of a sudden it's not okay, and they're canceling all these same cancel cultures for this, that, the other, and the third, you know. And like I see one of the big things is like people making homophobic statements and getting canceled. Sorry, this is why I was really leading with it. The racist thing wasn't what I wanted to lead with. It was just the best example I could pull off my head at the time because I'm a space case. Ex-addict. Don't blame me. I fried my brain a little bit, man. But the homophobic thing, I mean, you gotta realize for a long time, man, I mean, like, it wasn't accepted. I mean, people's parents were turning on them for that, and I think that's wrong, man. Accept your kid for who they are. And I'm not saying that homophobia is okay, but I mean, it was like, I mean, there's people that believe in their belief system that same-sex relations, I think I would say that good, and don't come at me, guys, I'm literally just spitting facts, but there's people that believe that is, you know, it goes against their belief system, so how can you fault them for following what they believe? And they still, even, you know, they said it back then, some of them still stand on it, they don't go against the grain on it, they don't, you know, they're religious, they think it goes against the Bible, all that. Me, I'm not religious, I don't care what you do, as long as it's two consenting adults, I don't care, leave the dog and the kids out of it. But, you know, so the cancel culture, I mean, yes, it's a beautiful thing on a lot of instances, but I think it's overused, and that's what I'm really getting at. Because what's going to happen, say, I wish I could think of a good example. let's just say, let's say in 20 years, like say, cancel culture all of a sudden is deemed as it's a horrible thing, and anybody who participated is now ironically canceled. You know what I mean? So where does it stop? And also, it speaks to the herd mentality of, you know, really, what's wrong with all of us just living our lives? Don't worry about what the next man does. Like, does it really matter unless it affects you? What people do behind closed doors is none of my business. Someone wants me to be racist, let them. What's that got to do with me? You know what I mean? That just speaks on them as a human being. I'm not racist. I want to know what's in your heart. I don't give a damn about your skin. Excuse my strong language. That's how I feel. I don't care. I will kick it with anybody who has a solid character. You know what I mean? Like, so on one hand, I am saying, like, cancel racism. Like, if you don't like it, don't listen to it. And I guess that's kind of, or, you know, don't watch it, don't listen to it, don't participate in it. And I guess that's kind of what the art of cancel culture is. But I feel like it's going too far. Like, this is how laws get pushed for stuff. At some point, and I know I got a lot of, you know, the Devil's Lettuce is now pretty mainstream, and it's making a strong comeback. At one point, that stuff was canceled, man. It was a cancel culture mentality, and we see that led. You know, at one point, alcohol was canceled, and honestly, as a recovering alcoholic, man, I believe alcohol should be canceled. This stuff is horrible. Nobody should drink, and I'm not condemning if you do, and some people do it on a very reasonable level, but I still believe that stuff's poison in a bottle. There's cultures that call, I think it's the demon alcohol, you know, it's a demon, it's a spirit. That's where allegedly it comes from. I don't know. I'm winging off what I've read, man. I haven't done a lot of research on it. It's just, I like to read, I like to learn, and these are things I've seen. Whether they're real or not, I don't know. You can tell me. But there are people that believe that stuff is a demon, and man, I was a good drunk. Actually, I didn't really drink to get drunk. So saying alcohol was strong, but I was drinking a 6-pack of beer a day. If that ain't a problem, I don't know what it is. This stuff's bad for your body. I've seen vodka kill a ton of my mother's friends. My mother, I don't know if she still is alcoholic. I don't bring it up. I'm assuming she still drinks. But her friends, I've watched a lot of her friends die off of vodka, nasty stuff. It kills people. It's a very, very bad end. Anyways, lost my train of thought. Back to the cancel culture. Yeah, it's beautiful. Some people should be canceled, but where does it end? We need boundaries, because cancel culture is what leads to laws, and laws are what leads to problems. And then years down the road, people are like, wow, they really had that law? How barbaric. That's it. Look at the Devil's Lettuce, for example. Look at Prohibition. That was all things that got canceled. Like, Prohibition was straight up. I actually know a bit about Prohibition. It was a bunch of religious people getting together. That's why still some states you can't buy any alcohol on Sunday. Blah, blah, blah. You know, especially in the Bible Belt, all that. Like, this really, this really messed some people's lives up, and it didn't start organized crime, but it made it very, very prevalent in our country. The problem is, you cancel something that everybody wants, there's going to become a criminal market for it. People who can get it and don't care what they have to do to anybody else to protect their business. Man, I guess actually I can't even be mad at the truck. They're going like above the speed limit, but I still don't like being boxed. Dude, I want a gallon. Anyways, I didn't mean to get off on a huge tangent, but I wanted to speak my thoughts on cancel culture. It was a thing that I try to speak with this channel. I try to speak on all things that interest me, whether it's current events, things going on, things in the biker world. I'm talking about motorcycles and motorcycle products at some point. You know, I get a product I really like or really don't like, I'm going to speak on it on the channel, because I have a platform that I've built for the reason of me speaking my thoughts. Oh yeah, I'm getting this. There we go. Slide on by here. Don't mind me, big fella. Yeah, so I want to speak on a little bit of everything, man. Tell my own stories, speak on my day. It's blogs, kind of like a motorcycle diary almost. Speak on my life, what's going on, speak on things that interest me. I mean, you never know what you might get on these videos. I'm all over the place. And I have a lot of interests. That's right. On that happy note, I have nothing